Hi there, welcome back at Wadokai Online. Today I would like to share some training methods for Sokuto. So for this video I have a couple of training methods ready for you. And to stay true to my own three principles, analyze, isolate and emphasize, I will first go to analyze Sokuto, so you know a little bit how my brain works. And first I thought, alright, so obviously there's a kick involved. So the first step is the position of the foot. The second is the dynamic of the leg. And finally, there is the movement of the hips and the supporting leg when the whole body is involved. So this was the first step in analysis, basically of this kick. And the second is to isolate. So I'm going to use these three things and I'm going to isolate them and try to make them step by step. So the first step is to make sure that your foot is in the proper position. And for that I'm going to sit down, because that helps me to isolate what I want to improve. Because if I sit down, obviously I don't have to worry about my posture, about my balance, about anything involved in the hips. The only thing I want to worry about is, can I get my foot in the right position? So obviously your toes have to go down and the big toe has to go up. And this is just one part of the movement. So this is only the movement of the toes. So you can do it this way if you want. I'm not sure whether you can see it properly or not. But you can basically do first 4 toes down, big toe up, and then do it the other way around. And basically you can do it this way. And then there's the movement of the foot, because your foot will not stay as it is when you usually stand. You actually have to make this movement with your foot. And then obviously when you bring your toes into play, it looks like this. And this is a warm-up exercise which we still use. So basically I just cut up the warm-up exercise in two. And this one we copied from Takashima Sensei. So now we have the position of the toes, the movement of the foot in a correct angle, and then thirdly for the kick is the actual part that you're going to hit with. Similar to when you strike, this has to be a straight line up to the shoulder and then throughout the rest of the body. And the same obviously counts for kicks. So the third step would be to get some contact from the ground. So in order to get feedback from it. So basically when you have the toes, the movement of the foot, you have to make sure that you use the edge, but also you have to use this line of the leg, which you can simply practice like that to get feedback from the ground. And that tells you soon enough whether it's in the correct position or not. Obviously you have to start slowly, but when you feel that you can do it with power, then do it. But I'm on a mat obviously, so this is more soft. So be careful when you do it on a concrete floor or something like that. That's quite dangerous. Okay, we have the position of the foot now in 3 steps, which I also have in the blog, by the way. So if you want to check that out step by step, I have the pictures there. So now I'll go on to the movement of the leg, but I'm going to use a chair for that to assist me. So as I mentioned, I analyzed the thrusting or stamping action of the kick and also the body movement involved. So the isolation part, that's why I brought the chair. This helps me not to worry about my balance too much, so that I can really isolate the movement of the leg. By the way, you can also use a wall, you can use your training partner or anything that you can use for support. So for today I'll use a chair. And for practicing this kick I would like to cut it up at least in 2 ways. The first way, I'm going to put my supporting leg at an angle, which is basically the end of the kick. When you usually kick, your foot opens up. So now I can practice Sokuto Gedan, and obviously that's another part of isolation, because I want to kick high. I'm going to get all kind of things that make it more difficult for me to practice. So I'll make sure my hip is already opened up. I'm going to support so that I don't have to worry about my balance, and then it's just a matter of lifting my knee very high and making sure to kick down. So I don't have to use my hip, just leg up, make sure the foot is in the correct position and kick. Okay, so we're going to continue to the last part. I'm still going to use the same thing, but instead of my foot pointing this way, it's either straight or at the other angle, so that it should open up and that I'll get the opportunity to incorporate my hip for the movement. So, foot in the correct position, raise your knee high to use the dynamic of the leg, and then make sure your hip points this way. Then when you kick, rotate your hips, pivot on the supporting leg and kick down. So this finalizes the video for training methods of Sokuto. I hope you enjoyed it. And for next week, I can already tell you what we're gonna do. I will share Skyuke from Kushanku. I'll explain the basic movement from Kata, and also I'll show you an application. So thanks again for watching and stay tuned for the next video.